This is Root Literacy Design, where we share stories, tips, and tools for educators implementing evidence-based literacy. Please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel so we can keep helping educators like you.
My name's Amy Goldblatt, and I'm here with Root Literacy Design. And today we're going to teach you how to spell and read words with the final J sound. So you can spell it in two ways, GE or DGE, because English words don't end in the letter J. So there needs to be another way to spell that. So the first word here is we are going to read words that have, make this the name. Here we're going to go vowel, consonant, E. So the A would say A. And the rule is if I see a G next to an E, it's pronounced J is the sound. So I would read this word as age. Same here. I see the GE and I would mark vowel, consonant, E. It would say A, rage. J is the GE, and I would vowel, consonant, E, stage. So we're going to keep practicing. So words down here, I'm also going to teach my students that DGE is also spelled with the sound J. Okay, and we're going to try to figure out when to use GE or DGE. So look down here at some of these examples. I see DGE, so this would be badge. This here is DGE, this would be wedge, DGE ridge, DGE edge. Here. So for these words, we want to look at that this here is, we want to mark it as a consonant. So because this sound is J, so if it's vowel consonant, this is a closed syllable. So that's how we get that A to say A. And then same here, this DGE, you want to teach your children that that's a consonant. So when we see that vowel, that's a closed syllable type, which makes that say wedge. Let's try some here. So I see DGE, that's a consonant, and that's a vowel. So this is a closed syllable, so it says ah, so the word is dodge. So we want to get our students to notice that we only use DGE after what type of vowel? And this is after a short vowel in a closed syllable word. Notice all of these words here, like badge, wedge, ridge, we also want to bring their attention to how many syllables that word is, because the DGE rule is you only use DGE to spell J at the end of a one-syllable word after a short vowel, okay? Otherwise, you would use GE for the other words. All right, so let's talk about the soft G sound. So soft G also says J, and soft G only spells J when it's next to an E, I, or Y. So if you look here, we would still, when we're reading words, we want to make sure that we still mark the vowels that we hear, consonants in between. When you see this syllable pattern, you try first dividing after the first vowel. So the first vowel is open, so it says A, and this is a closed syllable. So this would say eh. But now what you want to bring your students' attention to is that G there. So G has two sounds. G can say G or J here. So the rule is G says J when it's next to E, I, and Y. So this word is agent. because that G is next to that E there. Let's try another one. We would mark it as vowel, consonants in between. Again, when you see this syllable pattern, you want to divide after the first vowel. Try it first. This would be open. The I says I. This is a closed syllable, so the E would say eh. But now again, you want to bring that attention to that G there, and what letter comes right after it? It's that E, so that G is going to make the J sound. So this word is read digest. All right, let's try some spelling now. So when we spell words, we want to always say the word first. So let's say I'm going to spell this word here. So I would say the word fudge. And we want to ask, did they hear a prefix or a suffix? I did not. So then we want to just tap out the sounds. So we could draw the dots. We could say j. And then we want to attach those letters. So it would be F, U, and then we want our students to think, what spells J at the end of a word? And we want to bring their attention. That U was a short U, so it's So J. We want our students to remember that the rule is I spell J with a D, G, E after a short vowel in a one-syllable word. Let's spell this word here. So tap the sounds. B, R, I, J. Attach the letters. B, R, I. I want them to notice that's a short vowel. It's a one-syllable word. So the next sound that I hear is J. So I would make sure that I need to spell it with a D, G, E, like that. All right. Let's just go into a word like this quick. So the word is huge. Spell huge. Tap huge. U-J. So U-J. Attach the letters H-U. Now I hear the sound U. It's a long U. It's a one-syllable word, but that U is long. So the other way to spell J in a word is just with G-E, because that D-G-E is only after a short vowel. All right, let's spell some words down here. Let's spell this word here. So we want to say the word suggest. How many syllables? 2. The first syllable is g. Attach the letters S-U-G. The next syllable is jest. J-S-T. So it could be, there's the G and the J that could spell J. So we could spell it as J-E-S-T, or we could try it as S-U-G-G-E-S-T, because we do have that E right next to this sound here. So we can look at it to make sure that we want to use our cognitive spelling and try out the sounds. So is it suggest with a J or suggest with a G? And you could try them both. If you have no idea, you can look in a dictionary. But both of these, you want your students to start to try, that they could both fit the sound, but which one is the best spelling is suggest. And it's interesting when I ask my students to spell these, they would spell them both, and they usually when they see them both next to each other, they usually do pick the one that they've seen before and they've heard the most. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. All the tools you can see here are on our Root Literacy Design website on the store and the tools page. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe.